I'm here, Richie. I didn't just not show up today.
All right. Just send me out.
Are you going to this? Yes. Yeah, I would suggest that one. I've heard really good things about this.
Spring break, it's on too. Anybody? That wasn't the room, it's your own break. Get that. Like I'm used to sell out. Where all your friends are?
They're at the beach.
They're at the beach.
Yeah, those two.
Yeah, some of your. You sold 3 days.
Having dinner.
You can sell. You can actually, sometimes I have to. All right, so before we get started, I have a, if you want to order a RedDay t-shirt, that is all RedDay is
May 11th.
May 11th. I think Allison, what we're talking about, might as well just jump into it, right? Allison, passed these out Thursday, May 11th. We are looking for 3 different opportunities to get back this year. Go ahead, Allison.
Okay, so we actually are adding a opportunity. As you all know, RedDay is the day that we take our work to give back to our community because they give so much to us. We are going to, is Craig here yet?
I don't see you.
You know what? Can we wait? Well, we don't have to.
You can't,
You're gonna be with me, but it's okay. So last year we did, it was frontline response where we went, we made sandwiches, we did bags for lunch, and then we went out into the community with the police and passed out.
You were like 12-0, right? For
Oh,
the
yeah.
homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I would,
yeah.
I'd love to do that again. That's
Yeah, so
like
we are
really
doing
good.
that. It is already set up. It'll be from 9 until 1. It's up there. And we'll go in, we'll have a little tutorial. It'll tell us kind of a little bit about what to expect and what we're going to be doing, and then we'll do it, and then we head out. We also, I'm looking into something with the Humane Society. And they were closed yesterday when I was making my calls, so I'll know more about that today. I'll be able to speak to that next week. We're doing Norcross Ministries, the food drive, as you can see. I mean, we're all so fortunate, you know, and this is what they need. Families first, this is what they need. On Amazon, I put together a wish list. There's a link, there's a, Jessica was very kind, made a QR code for us. You can go there, it'll be delivered to your house. I'll bring it here. Those 2 opportunities that day, we will need volunteers to go with us to deliver the goods. And the other thing about Families First is they would like to do, and this is, I guess it's really Hispanic families that are not as, you know, don't have as much as what they need, right? And so they would like to, for the moms in the group, they would like to do a Mother's Day lunch and have just a little gift to give to each of those moms that don't get anything. They're all, you know, so we're looking for, they asked for, if we could raise $1,000, they think about 500 of it would be for lunch, and about 500 of it they would like to spend to give to the moms in attendance. So that is, I don't think we put that on there because I forgot to tell Mickey until this morning. So that's something that you can send money directly to me, and I will just keep a tally of it, and then I'll pass it along to them. You can Zelle, you can cash, you can check, you can do whatever you want to do. But that is something that is near and dear to their heart.
And we can,
That's for families. First.
we can raise that kind of money easily.
Yeah, $1,000 we could raise in here like that.
Yeah, and then on May 11th, you know, I would just took all these, play on then, you know, get back to the community.
And the number one thing about the lunch is the sooner that we can raise that money, the better, so that I can tell them what they have so they can plan it, because of course Mother's Day is the birthday, a couple of days after that, 3 days after that or something. So if you intend to give anything financially for that specifically, please do it as soon as you can, okay?
Okay.
That's it.
All right, and if you want, I'm gonna pass it around. We're ordering shirts and we're RedDay and Nikki is going to run it, so she's gonna do it on her credit card. So,
So I need your money first.
and your shirt size, if you don't have one, I'll start with you,
I put the
Ruthie.
date on there, I need your money by the 21st if you're going to purchase the shirts. So that gives them 2 weeks to get a order, to get them here, and they'll be here for RedDay.
And they're,
They're $10.
$10, $10, right?
Yeah.
Love it. All right, let's get this show on the road. How was your first quarter? I see somebody, who said hello? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's okay. Like, there's no bad answer, right? Are you on track for your goals? Okay, so what are we doing today to reevaluate what we did first quarter? I always say it's a 20, 30, 30, 20. What does that mean? Does somebody tell me what that means?
20% of your income, the first.
Say it louder, you don't hear you.
20% the first quarter, 30% the second and third quarter, and 20% fourth quarter.
Boom. So we're gonna change it up a little bit, right? Goals, you can, if you're not on track, you gotta change the activity. So I appreciate you saying that. We'll hold you accountable, right? Seasonality of real estate is going on right now. Where's Linda at? Oh, she's your, oh, that's so funny. She's your bandmate, right? She's sitting right next to you. So Linka, what are you doing? What's your, first quarter look like?
It's looking promising so far.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about that.
Honestly, I think doing bold to really push me where I needed to be.
Oh, I
Completely honest,
did not pay her for that, I promise.
completely honest, and just I have to push myself harder, work harder, make those calls, make those text messages, do the events, do all that I was uncomfortable doing a few months back. That's why I didn't have no business, and I just said to myself, I'm tired of being broke, and I'm done. That's
I'm
it.
tired
Let's
of
do it.
being broke. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Hey, it's a difficult situation, right?
It sucks.
Okay.
And I like to have a good life and, do what I want, so.
Right, right. The opportunity is there.
Yes.
Somebody else, first quarter, tell me something good, bad, ugly, indifferent. Thank you, Amy.
So we had a spectacular first quarter. We did almost as much as we did last year.
So first quarter of 2023 was more, yeah, you clap, that's okay, that's okay. More in 2023. And didn't you just take a new listing?
Yeah, so I have a $7.5 million listing and Ryan has 2 $3 million listings. All that we got through prospected through InFocus Plus. So for those of you that want to know how to do that, just stick with us.
Have a conversation.
We went on Thursday to go meet with one person and I said to them, wow, that house up the street is really amazing. Do you know the person? She said, yes, sent him a text. We went for a preview. The guy put his house on InFocus Plus and introduced us to a restaurant for InFocus Plus and his cousin who has a house that he might have to sell. So we're using that to leverage our business and get to a higher price point than we used to be at.
I love that. So great first quarter. Continue on that into the second quarter. Congratulations. I saw your hand go up.
I still had a better first quarter than I usually have, but I started door knocking again, and I went to a neighborhood, I had a listing and it was 71 doors, and I knocked them all by myself. And I only planned to knock about 20, and then when I got to the first 10, the first person was like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about selling. And I was like, I can't stop now, so I was like, I had to back my flag. And I was like, all right, when I finish these, I'm gonna stop. And then I got to the end of those and somebody else was like, oh yeah, I'm not, but the guy down there was just talking about selling. And then I just grabbed the whole box of flyers and I just did the whole neighborhood. And I actually got 5 people. One person had already committed to meet with somebody and she signed it. Even though I said, cause he was like, I'm a man of my word, I'm still gonna meet with her. And I'll call you right after. By the time I called him, he was like, oh, I signed, but if it doesn't work out, I'll give you a shot. But I'm actually about to shoot down after team meeting to the other listing point.
Nice.
I mean, it costs you nothing but energy. I went door knocking again last night at about 6 o'clock. Over here in Peachtree Corners, but I'm just gonna pick 3 neighborhoods and just get out there and just do it.
I love it. Congratulations. I love it. Yeah, yeah. Come on.
So anybody who knows me or talked to me in the last year, I had a terrible year last year. I mean, it was the worst year of my career, other than my first year. And as of May 3rd, I will surpass last year. And that's only because I was being a secret agent. I wasn't on social media. I wasn't talking to people. And this first quarter, that's all I've done. All I did was call people, and not to talk about business, just to say, hey, like, sorry, I've been out of the loop, like, just wanted to touch base. And the conversations will naturally go to business if you're asking them about who they are, what they're about, what their deal is, you know, what's in their life. It does naturally flow to business, especially if there are people that do care about you. You're gonna have those conversations, and what's happening is a lot of people, I call them, and they'll say to me, oh, I've been meaning to call you, I've been thinking about doing this, or I've been thinking about doing that. And you don't have to make it strictly about business, but just, you know, like, for example, social media, I'm not even really putting like my sales and stuff anymore. I'm more so putting like my day-to-day activities, and people are seeing it. I did an open house on Sunday. Wasn't a lot of traffic, but I put it on Facebook and I did it as a story, and 225 people saw it. So people are seeing it, whether they're reacting or doing it, you just gotta keep after it, and business will naturally pick up. I mean, I had three houses under contract in the last week. So,
Yeah, first, congratulations. But now you're being proactive instead of reactive.
right.
So what's the difference between a broker and a team leader? I set you up for this, guy. No, I.
That's a trick question.
So have you met with Ruth about your goals and your dreams and your aspirations?
No.
Have you met with your team leader about your dreams, your goals and your aspirations?
Yeah.
Interesting. See the difference of a brokerage that has a team leader? Like, she's here to answer your special steps and your amendment to make you stay out of trouble. I'm there to kind of throw fence, excuse me, my language, but that's exactly what happened. And it was they come into Jesus' conversation, and it wasn't good, and I'm not gonna be nice. Because see, I know it's sitting right next to him, and I'm hitting right between the eyeballs. And it flips that switch real quick, like, because we don't want to live broke, right? And the business is out there. If you listen to the media, you listen to all the noise around you, the world's coming to an end. Tell the truth. You see it. I'm not blind either. So you have to, but when you have those moments, we all do, right? It's natural human. Then you just have somebody have a conversation with them.
Right. Well, and sometimes you need, especially if you start getting bigger and start doing well, and it comes naturally. Sometimes you have to have those like humbling moments. Like last year was very humbling for me. I thought, oh, I've got this big business, it just naturally comes to me. And I kind of took my foot off the gas, and I paid for it last year. I mean,
Oh, you're not the only age. There's a few of them you still in this room.
no, it's
Look at you and have a conversation about it.
yeah.
You're not the only room. So congratulations. First of all, it's just saying it out loud. Thank you for sharing with us, because there are others that in that same situation.
Yeah, but don't overthink it. That's really the biggest thing. I mean, for me, that was what I was doing, is I was overthinking, and therefore I wasn't taking any action. I was just thinking and not doing anything. And it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be salesy. You just have to like care about people. Right? Go to events, anything that you get invited to, go to it, because you're not going to talk to people, connect. It's amazing what things will happen when you do that.
Yeah, I mean, y'all think my social media is, here's some of my social media. You ever seen anything I've been tagging last week?
You went to that.
You know what, yeah, you know why I do all that? So it draws attention. So you see what I'm doing, right? I mean, there's a reason behind it, right? I mean, there is, and you know, they know the business you're in, so you mix it with real estate, like you went to the Neymar event, right? So we'll talk about that today as well. You're in the real estate game, but they need to know the game you're in. They need to know it, because the world doesn't know it, or you assume they do, and y'all know what that means. All right, let's keep moving. Somebody else, number one, I say, I see you, Bob, back there, and you got the master jacket on.
Ready,
so you're allowed to sleep.
Ready. Real quick, I've been farming a neighborhood for about 18 months. I got my first listing in January. I was at my open house on Saturday. Another one of the neighbors came up to me and said, I'm ready to list my house. Can you come see me next week?
18 months you've been farming. So it doesn't happen overnight. And sometimes we do things and then we feel like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, we're done because it happened so fast. It is, and we have to continue to do the activities. I want to thank y'all too for all being here. I mean, I know it's, I think everybody's just, like, I even feel like I want to go on spring break. My kids are in their 20s. But I get it, so thank you for being here. All right, anybody else? Yeah, Michael, great on here today. Yeah, I see y'all back there. I see you, come on. You got something to say, Sandy?
I was just gonna say that, like what Mike said, you can't be a secret agent. You put everything out there, you put it out there, you never know when it's gonna pop up, right? Sunday, I was crazy. I was playing Nina Ehrlich with some friends of Hunter's, and Nina showing us the condos in Midtown. Had an open house with Tyler's, which by the way was crazy, I get a text from her friends like, hey, I wanna see this condo in Swanee Town Center. Can you meet us? And I was like, yeah, 5:45, we'll be there, and put an offer in last night. We'll see if they actually accept the offer, but you just never know. Never know.
So I'm gonna have this conversation.
This is a friend of mine, but you never know who's listening.
You never know, right? But you gotta be playing all in.
Yeah.
So y'all all see me in a hoodie right now, right? Everybody sees the hoodie, like, me and Tony on the same vibe. What was I in this weekend?
Tuxedo.
Did you know, if you didn't know me, if I went to a restaurant, would you have known what I was doing for a living? The answer is no, because I was in a tuxedo or a suit. Example, I take you to lunch the other day, or no, you take me to my wallet, as usual. And we're at Chili's, and you remember the waitress, and I look just like this, different shirt, so I didn't change clothes. And what did she say?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember who it was.
It was an agent.
It was an agent in our office, and she's like, oh, do you know this agent? We're like, yeah. They're in our office.
I said, no, it's good. I was reading your jacket. And I knew that you were Keller Williams in your real estate.
But the crazy thing was, we weren't even here, we were up in Johns Creek.
Yeah. But I'm always marketing and branding, and that's what I'm saying to all of them. No matter what you're doing, you should always be doing that. I wouldn't do that in a wedding, and I'm not doing that at church, but I'm just saying out loud, it was an aha moment, and especially her, she went, finally what he says about being exposing yourself to the marketplace.
Be a secret agent.
Don't be a secret. Okay. All right, come on, man. Y'all come on down. Y'all tell us something good going on in the mortgage business. Excuse me, attorney business. I'll say that.
Y'all, what's going on? I'm Carter Jennings with Michael and Gray. I've got some folks with us here today. I've got Edna Hernandez, she's one of our agent services representatives, and we've got Eric Bridges right here. Yeah, what?
I'm marketing manager.
She's
Marketing.
right here today. I want to tell y'all, we got a class tomorrow. Some of y'all were there for the last class. It was guard contract shipping. We had a great turnout. We had a good time. Everybody, well received. And we had a lot of competition. I don't see the reigning champion here today. Is Cameron?
And no, he's not.
So, I mean, the title's up for grabs, y'all. Tomorrow we've got round 2. We've got guard contract exhibit and special stipulation. So we're gonna dive a little deeper. There's gonna be, the questions I think are a little bit harder, but I know y'all can handle it. Today, I've got a little teaser for you. I got one prize today. I've got one question I'm gonna ask y'all. Whoever gets a hand up first gets, answer the question. If you get it right, you got what I got right here. Okay? Y'all ready? Here we go. What is the form number of the no financing contingency exhibit? I'm gonna read that. One more time. What is the form number of the no financing
Yes, just
contingency?
because I can't lose. I mean,
There we go.
F41.
Bingo.
It's not,
We're-
but
Close, I'll give you that.
F241.
F241.
You just looked it
No.
up. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
So my I expect all of you in class tomorrow, you don't know your goals.
The numbers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So y'all, as you can see, we got prizes tomorrow. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have a lot of questions. Come on, learn something with us, have a little bit of fun. We'd love to see you there, okay?
What time?
Tomorrow at, I believe it's right at 9:30. Yep, 9:30 tomorrow.
Is it on Zoom?
We will have Zoom, up to, so if you want to come in and join on Zoom, or you can join in person, either way we'll take you, okay? All right, y'all.
So the goal, thank y'all very much.
You all for an event. This is our Rectangle event that's coming up on April 13th. Tickets are $149. Normally this event is about $1,000 to attend. Brett will be sharing a lot of his ideas and his plans and how to help you either make more money, save more money, and help with taxes also. So you have this paper in front of you with the QR code. And I do also want to mention that Edna here actually is on our team because she also speaks Spanish fluently. So if there's any contracts you can help with or any clients you can help with that are Spanish speaking, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help you. Thank you.
I was just gonna put this out there, but I'm a little nervous because I don't know Brett very well. I know I've been attending his classes and I know that to go to Austin's $1,000 to be in his room. But I do know he shared some tips with us at family reunion in the class I was in, and it saved me a ton of money. I almost would have, if you go, I'll personally guarantee I'm not gonna do that on this event because I don't know what he's gonna be doing. But I know it will help you in your tax preparation and building massive wealth.
And it's right down the street at the Atlanta Athletic Club.
Absolutely. So thank y'all.
you.
All right, let's go. Shelter. And Matt, and RedDay, and I think we have a special guest in the room. It's Captain Natalie. Or should I have said, who knows who one of the baddest women you'll ever meet in your life is? And I mean that in a very good sense. Like she's like, yeah, you don't.
That's an oxymoron, I believe that.
Well, I'm just telling you, she's been doing loans for 100 years. I told her this morning, but yet she's an awesome person, and yes, you don't want to mess with her. So thank you for being here today.
Happy to.
Oh, and well, let me say this. She's going to be the new president of Onward Mortgage. I think it's important that I say that. So it's not just something, yeah, because when we speak there. Yeah, that's very important. We're running the show. We're excited. All right, good. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So rates, national average bumped up last week from 6.375 up to 6.57. That was due to the concerns of the banking sector kind of pulling off. So anytime there's good news, that's going to ultimately push those rates up. NBA came out with a forecast that they're expecting rates to drop down 30-year fixed to 5.375 by the end of the year, and also for the median home price to also decrease. So this is going to be huge for affordability. The next big indicator is going to be when the Fed meets. We do not have a meeting in April. The next will be in May, which is May 2nd, May 3rd. And that's where they're expecting for there to be some positive news and rates to start dipping.
You know what I feel like you are? Y'all, I love y'all. I feel like the weather. I just don't know. I'm looking for some great improvements in the club. It's like a yo-yo.
Well, I was gonna say, I think the weatherman has like a 10% accuracy. I think we're a little bit better than that. If this doesn't work out, I'm gonna go be a meat for all.
90% of the time to keep your job. That's a good race.
Like, I had to change my clothes yesterday.
So, okay, so Hunter, y'all gotta understand that 3 rate changes yesterday. Are you understanding that so that when your clients are meeting, they want the lowest rate, right? So it's important that we're having good dialogue and good conversations with them about the rate so they can lock them if we need to.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to stand up here and say it's going to be sunny. every Tuesday, but that doesn't always happen.
The only person who wouldn't do that is the Augusta National.
So, kind of understand, why house prices are falling because there's still low inventory. And I don't, there's.
See, I love conversation. Why do you think house prices fall? Who told you that?
He did, I didn't know they were.
No, the Mortgage Bankers Association is expecting for the median home price to decrease throughout the year.
But see,
National.
and that's exactly, who said national now? I heard right here. Thank you. One of y'all, you guys are in this micro. John Street, go listen to John Street, come back, tell me that same dialogue.
Yeah.
We're getting 10 offers in a question. We're in the same, yeah.
My neighborhood in Judge Street, we had one go on the market on a Thursday, they had 10 offers. By Sunday, it wasn't all the teams from theirs, and they went almost 100,000. And that was 3 weeks, 3 weeks ago.
So when you hear this, yeah, but now if you go down, yeah, and I'm just going somewhere else, it might not be that way. All local.
Well, that's what we gotta get the caveat with that.
There you go. Okay.
So good news, something we've been talking about for a while, that Forewarn National program that we were talking about is now active. This is for borrowers who are not US citizens or permanent resident aliens that are looking to buy real estate outside their country of origin. So I know that kind of fits for some of you guys in here, or at least clients of yours. They reside or work outside the United States. They do need to have a valid passport, but they do not have to have a US Social Security number. And they also do need to own a primary residence in their country of origin. So if you guys have, there's more requirements for that. That's just kind of baseline, but if you guys have any other questions, feel free to call any of us and we'll run you through the program. Yeah. And I can teach a class on it as well. Yeah, it's a good idea.
You need to.
You need to also talk about, the podcast, are gonna be, opportunities.
Yeah, but you can talk about that.
Yeah, so we got a podcast room set up, and so when y'all want to start doing that, just let us know. And I'll have you be able to come in there and do your podcast, and we'll figure out what platforms it needs to be on.
Well, I was just going on top of that, I think it'd be something good for you guys to do for buyers or a listing appointment. If you guys are going to meet with a buyer and they're driving to meet you somewhere, send them a 10-15 minute clip on how you do business, who you are, what you're about. I think it gives them, a better understanding of you before you meet with them at the consultation. So, it could help you talking to us, kind of asking you questions about you, your business, how you navigate some things in the market. So.
Yeah,
And you can help, he knows how to do this, so that.
Yeah, I can set it up.
Fear
Yeah.
of-
that's why I keep going into him, going, Hunter, tell us, because I don't know.
He knows what he's doing.
I'm gonna go next one a little out of order because I know you've really been waiting for me to talk about Nut Madness. I can feel your stares. And yeah, no, Richie and I have already had dialogue this morning. We're square. People love your dogs more than if I put your kids up. I think it
Yes,
was less.
yes.
Yes, 100%. I learned a lot on this project. So the winner is Cosmo, which I'm sure you guys know Cosmo.
Cisco.
Cisco. Sorry,
Cosmo.
Cosmo. Very good, listen. It is Cisco, LB's dog went up against Eric Clark's dog, Maggie yesterday, and Cisco, defeated her. So,
I thought it was so stressful.
yeah, y'all stressing me.
What?
I thought this project a little differently next year when we let Madness, but super excited.
No, but madness is happening, I like, there's like some divorces happening.
Rules for next year, that won't create family trauma and therapy, so.
Yeah.
But it is,
Good activity, we got one of engagement we got.
well, I would say, I always tell people, make a joke, and when I come back, that's my mom's dog. She loved her dog when she does me, so I'm really understanding, and I knew this was gonna.
Yeah.
Then you had to know the rules of the game, people, and you had to play the game a certain way.
Yeah, we'll change some things. But anyway, American Idol.
Boy, thank you, and congratulations to Cisco and Ellie. Hey, and I thank y'all for that one too. Go ahead, sorry.
Are you talking?
Yeah, well, I got to say, home life gets easier with her dog winning.
Are you talking then?
Huh?
Are you talking then?
No, you. Yes.
I don't bet you were.
You do it together?
One of y'all.
We have a little announcement.
So, jump in. So with success happens, things happen around success. So y'all know the #1 mortgage lender and, team in all of North Lexington. Y'all know who that is?
Yes.
Where are they?
Right there.
They're right here. So what happens with that, when you're #1 year after year, what happens with that? Everybody's preparing yourselves for a conversation, going, okay, what's about to come out of his mouth?
Yeah.
What happens?
You move on.
You move up, that's right, there's opportunity, right? And so, you saw Connecticut win last night, right? And you knew they weren't gonna lose. You saw what they did at Gonzaga, right? There was no chance. Matter of fact, one of the 5 starters came from Mountain View. But with that, the coach gets opportunity. Y'all know that, right? The NBA will be calling and he will get a huge contract. So that's just what happened. So it's happened inside the organization of Shelter Mortgage as we move into onward. And we're fixing, I'm not saying they're broken, I apologize, I can't use the wrong words, but it's not broken.
A lot of opportunity.
It's just not as good as we are.
Correct.
So with that,
Nobody's as good as they are in shelter. They're best.
oh, I know, I'm talking about this group,
Yeah.
they're going better.
Right.
So y'all want me to cut through the chase, right? You're like, what is he about to say? What is he about now? What I'm about to announce is Stanley's going to be moving to the North Fulton office. I won't say fix, I was. But
To
to
grow.
to help and support that office, and the new onward opportunity, because when you're at the top of the leaderboard, your service is rewarded. And they're, I wish they were here now, but I said they weren't good, they're just not, and you're the best, so I'm sorry that, and so that is the announcement being made today, that she will be going up there and launching that office and crushing it.
Renee.
She'll be, well, that is not the full announcement, she will be here as well, handling the marketing side. So she'll be marketing and helping her up there as well, yes. But we'll have, you guys all keep right, there will be, trust me, there will be people twice.
There'll be a group of agents that I still work with, so I'm grateful for that and want to thank everybody.
Well, so yeah, you still can call her and use her, like, it's not like she's leaving our company.
Yeah, I'm just up the street and I'll see you at events and all kinds of stuff. I'll pop in whenever I'm closing with Ashley or with Michael. I'll run over here and abuse y'all unmercifully whenever I can. So drinks and lunch on James anytime you want to go out. So just grateful for y'all. Had tons of fun in here, laughed more than I can tell you in this office. So I want to thank Mike for giving me the energy and the what do I call that? The
I think it's annoying, driving you crazy. Yeah, no, that was always, so, what y'all don't understand is with Kathy sitting here, she is the one who put them, like, she's our bullseye, she was our target for many years. We've taken her down and it's pretty cool, now we're moving on to green. And, but she's a competitor too, so she'll be back.
I'm sure she will. So anyway, I'm grateful for all of y'all and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, and that's, yeah, thank you. That's what Kathy was saying with Brad, because she's a rock star, so that's what happens, when you come after, come after, so, congratulations, thank you for everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Let it go. Thank you. All right, so, but madness never again. Never again. We love it, that's contest, I love it. All right, Ruth, where you at? Okay, so I know I just gave some news, and everybody still kind of digests the news. So while I got you kind of down in the dark about the news, I'm really gonna hit you a little harder today. And I apologize, but I'm coming from compassion, heartfelt compassion, and because I'm your team leader and I love you, I want everybody to hear me clearly today in what I'm about to say. It's coming from love, but you will hear my voice, how I talk to my children when they do something wrong, take it the wrong way, know it's from love. You want me to go ahead and talk? Well, So let me just tell you this, and we're gonna talk about Forewarn today. It is an app that I've said out loud to you that you can get $6 a month to identify somebody. I'm gonna give, so I get goosebumps when I say this, I got leaves on me. When I say this conversation, I want you to hear me clearly. Because the last thing I want to do is have you on the news. Because you're a statistic. To hear me clearly. That if a 1.7 million or 2 million or 3 million, I don't give a rap. If $10 million buyer calls you, you do not know this person. And you bring them to my office or our office and you get their ID and you put them in your car, show them property, or you ride with them, you're gonna have a conversation with them. First of all, I think that's great. Old school, we would take IDs and we would take a picture of it and we know that. Ladies and gentlemen, do not do that. Do you see the size difference here? I'm a little dude, but do you see the size difference?
He's got more muscle, that's what I'm doing.
And I'm not gonna say who the agent was, but if you do not know this person and you met them through the internet and they called you and they met you here. We just had a case that was broken where a guy was making IDs criminal activity. So IDs don't matter. Forewarn gives you a better idea who this person is. Ladies and gentlemen, you driving a stranger in your car. Nowadays you are blessed because you don't drive people in your car. You don't have to. Let them follow you. When you go to the door, y'all gotta be smart. And ladies, I'm not just talking to you. Like you see this little guy, you gotta be smart. When you open the lockbox, don't just bend down and then you have no idea who this person is.
I brought my lockbox to show you. You can, I did that this morning. I started it up, walked away, and it opened when I was not even around it. It's got Bluetooth. It hears when you ask them. So you do not need to go over the door and be doing this. We used to have to do that, but we're past that. So just punch the thing and then turn around and start talking to your client. So that way you keep that communication going. You got that eye contact, because it can be dangerous if you turn your back to people. Sometimes it happened to me twice where I turned my back to somebody. This is before we had all this stuff like Forewarn or anything like that. Where somebody actually grabbed me from behind when I'm opening the door. And for some reason, I don't know why it is, these groups are always going for the most expensive properties. So it's like this, you got this pie in the sky, while you got somebody who wants to buy $1.7 million, and so you don't do it, oh wow, let's get out there and look at property, right? But it's so dangerous. What we do, I mean, it's terrible. Before I ever got in real estate, I lived down in Midtown, not Midtown, I don't know what you call that. But you know what the Parado is, where the old governor's mansion was? At that time, there was an agent who got cut up and put in the bathtub. That was before I became an agent. So it's been around for a while.
So sorry for being, I just hope that my message is getting through today in my tonality. Do you think it's, oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Oh,
Look,
God.
look, forgot about that, you got young children over here. But I guess my point is, you gotta do that. Well, now we're having problems because he had a book bag and I was missing from the house. So the situation, my goal, and I've had that conversation with the agent, is to get you home to your family. And this is a job. Y'all doing this to make a living. So we're not going down in the empty basement. Phoenix, I'm sorry, I got my friend, but she's like, oh, you scared me to death. But I don't want you going down in the basement, but you don't know. Matter of fact, if it's a referral from a friend, you might still be. I get if it's mom or dad, different story, but everybody understands, yes, you get what I'm saying. Because we have this situation we're still working through now. But I went through the process of how we found this person and what we did, and the fact that we rode with them in their car and we drove them in our car makes me very nervous. Because the outcome could have been a lot different. And that's why I wanted to be very stern in my conversation. Everybody, we don't like this type. Like we don't. We want to go home to our families, right? I shared this on spring break week because I knew a lot of people would be here. I'm just kidding. Like everybody laughed, I did a little bit. But yeah, it was. I honestly didn't care if that agent left or not after our conversation, because I was just like I was speaking to you. Because my one thing is never I would be devastated if I knew that something would happen to that agent. And I'm gonna make sure that I get my point across. And my one thing is you go home to your family. And you don't know who's out there. You don't. Unfortunately, it's where we live in. Sad, sad, sad. But that's just reality. You just gotta be careful, right? Everybody's, yes, you know, so Sylvia, it kind of gives you, you're like, okay, it just gives you more awareness, right, of what I'm talking about. Okay, my whole thing is to make this awareness for you. And I don't care if you're a man or a woman, this is just a conversation to be aware of your surroundings. And today's world, you don't have to put people in your cars. You don't, I'll meet you there. And I do like the fact she brought them here, she got their ID, that is wonderful.
Yeah.
But we just broke a case that was nothing but fake IDs.
Yeah, in fact, I've got to go to court still. They keep answering it, but I had a guy that I rented a property to that was really very nice. He had his driver's license, everything. He had stolen, and I'll tell you that it was a different race even. He stole the identity of somebody in Powder Springs. And he's a total fake. And he tore up the house, and the landlord's all upset, and he didn't pay the bills and stuff, and it's just, and I thought he was extremely nice. He told me he was an ex-football player for Georgia. He was a real Muslim guy, and he was telling me the truth. He was flat out lying. He didn't even have the same name.
Yeah, like I said, anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. And if you don't know the person, I'm just asking you to be more vigilant. Is that okay? Everybody get my message? I'm not gonna talk about, and the whole graphic story, but that's what I'm hearing. So Forewarn is, here's the funny part, and I will say this out loud. We pulled him up and there's 0 against him, and you pull me up and you get 30. So you're like, wait a minute, Walter, you're the bad guy. It's not necessarily the case. And and now we're fighting about item missing. So, what else you got? I really want to get that. Everybody on Zoom ain't heard that?
Yeah,
Thank you.
See y'all.
All right, Enrique, please lighten the mood a little bit. I'll start a little bit of what you guys ended, really quick, and then I'll move on to my thing. This is something for you guys to be aware as well, and this is not a potential client, but these are the real estate companies and realtors. We had an interesting call. One of you called me and said, I'm trying to put an offer, this is on Sunday, I'm trying to put an offer in this, the listing indicates 0% commission. So I called the agent and I said, listen, are you paying a commission or not? Because otherwise we're gonna pass, right? And the agent says, don't worry about it, just go ahead, we are paying a commission. So what did the agent do? We always talk about it, go ahead and send them instructions to an attorney. And the other agent refused to sign it. Now, what was she citing? And this was the craziness about it. She said, there is an antitrust commission, class action lawsuit, and we shouldn't be doing that or X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. There might be something going on, but that has nothing to do with it. We're in Georgia, we get those things signed, right? So I contacted Ruth, just so we are on the same page. I'm texting with Ashley, and we're all trying to figure out what's the best solution here, right? They counter, and they wanted to use closing costs and give credit to the buyer, so the buyer would pay the commission. They were just making it all confusing. And even though that could technically be done, it's definitely not a good practice. So after consulting, after doing all of those things, I left a message. I called up the agent, broker, whatever it was, and I said, listen, we have this situation, and we're just not gonna do it this way. We need to get that instructions to closing attorney signed. Call me, and you can talk to one of our brokers and go from there. Right after that conversation with that call, that agent signed the instructions to closing attorney, all things good, right? But the neat thing about it is the fact that this other agent, our office checked. She just didn't say, oh, whatever you want to do, well, not a problem, we'll just go ahead and get in the contract, and then we'll worry about the commission, right? And then we have an issue that could be pretty big, right? So just be on the lookout. If anything looks weird, if it doesn't sound right, check with Ruth, call me, just to make sure you got everything squared away.
Now, the selling agent was not a realtor,
The listing,
the listing agent. I mean,
it appears she was not, the broker was. So in my book, if the broker is a realtor, they're real. So yeah, that's yeah.
So since I'm on my bandwagon, it's gonna be lighting, it's gonna be done right now, we'll just keep going. And I'm gonna say this out loud. That if you're taking listing, then you're only giving the buyer's agent 1%. I'm probably gonna have a problem with that. You're doing 2%, I'm a problem with that. Like, I understand it's all negotiable. I don't understand why we're changing this. This is happening in the Florida market, like the Panhandle 38, because I track them. And it makes me so mad to have conversations with people down there. You're the ones that dictate everything here. I don't care what's going on in the government. You dictate it. So when you choose to discount, or you take a 6%, you give yourself 4 and get the buyer's agent 2. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna be honest with you, you're gonna have a conversation with me. You might have to pay, because we're not gonna play that game. Because once you start that game, it becomes the norm, and we don't do that, right? And so that's what's happened. You have people just jump in the business. And they're not professionals. And if you have to remember, buyers agents working for you, it's called free labor, truth be told.
Yeah.
They show in your house, and until you get a contract and goes to closing, you pay them at closing a co-op fee. Cooperative fee. But when you start taking away out of it, they work, I'm sorry, listing agents, that's the only thing I would love with listing agents. Buyers agents probably work harder than listing agents. Is that true? Would you not say that? So then you're gonna, so we start messing around with this, and this is why this is becoming an issue now. So I am protecting you and very stern with any conversation I have with any broker about what they're doing. And pretty much all of them out of business, and I'll make it very clear. Very sincerely. And it's interesting, it's happening now, when we need agents more than ever, than it didn't happen the last few years ago, when you could whisper. And the house was gone. That's what's so crazy. It's like it's an opposite effect. So anyway, sorry, I want to jump in there because I'm on this roll today.
And I didn't want to, that wasn't what we were talking about. Right? Like we needed, since we were, talking about being on the lookout for your clients and who you're working with. Also be on the lookout of, who you're dealing with on the other end of the listing, right? So anywho, now, I was not planning on giving you stats today, but I was able to get most of the stats that I needed. Not all of them are out, especially the ones from FMLS. That's the reason we have chart masters is because if we could get everything we needed from FMLS, why pay for it, right? But chart masters definitely gets data that even though it's somewhere in FMLS, it's not as clear as it should be. So a couple of the slides are missing the corresponding MLS or FMLS data. So I'm gonna update that as soon as we get the MMO from Chartmasters. But I think we're still gonna have a very interesting picture, at least of what's happened this first quarter. And I think it's important. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, let's see.
I think I work on that. Back in the day, we called that glamour shots.
Oh my God, that's long story now.
You look like a solo singer.
All right. So if you notice here, there's not. I was able to look at some data from FMLS, but it just didn't look right. So I said, let me wait until we get the actual report. But it actually paints the right picture anyways, right? So this is nationwide, this is the national average, right? And look at where we are in comparison to 2022.
So what color is that?
Okay, if you look at 2022 is yellow, right? And 2021 is green. Steel is 2020, that's a crazy year, right? And then that red one, I guess is that's 2019. The pink is 2023. Okay, short, all the way to March, right? Now, if you notice, and I'm looking at the trend, right? It looks like it wants to mimic 2021, right? It's trying to cycle, right? The market, if you let it be, if you let the market happen, it wants to do its cycle, right? But look at what happened in 2022. All right. See how we started to cycle and then it went up, then it changed. And the rates, got higher and all of a sudden people are, things are sitting on the market longer, they didn't know what was going on, and that changed. Well, it looks like we're gonna mimic, right? So right now, we're at 59.9% year over year. And this is the amount of listings, the active listing count. Right? Now, this is different. This is just active, right? This is the active listing count, and we're a little higher than last year and the year before, right? We're still way under 2020, 2019, 2018, right? So from that perspective, we're still in a seller's market. Good enough? Next slide. Now, this is the interesting one. This one is called the total listing count. And this is everything that's on the market, everything that is active under contract in that case, and pending, everything until it sells is total listing count, right? Well, homes for sale is the stat that FMLS has that mimics that national graph, if you would. So look at where we are. We're definitely less than 2022, or actually 2021, but actually higher than 2022. Because it was a much tighter year when it started. You see that? Now, so look at, so year over year, we're 9.3% higher, right? At 955,000 units in the market. Look at where we are in FMLS, and this is the metro area. We're at 14,627, and we increased 37%, almost 38% compared to last year. What does that mean? We have properties that are not necessarily moving or selling as quickly as others, unless you're in Jones Creek or you're in particular areas where you're still having the multiple offers, you're still having offers over asking price and so on and so forth. This is just the national average, right? The next slide, if you don't mind. This is the pending listing count. Now, this one is interesting because we're actually mimicking prior pandemic years, 2017, 2018, and 2019. You see that? And we're definitely way below 2020, 2021, and 2022 as far as properties going pending. I want to beat a dead horse, but that is pricing. Those are the properties that are not priced well, that are staying on the market longer and creating that backlog, right? Now let's look at FMLS, same graph or same comparison, if you would. We're at 6,600, but we're 30% the opposite direction. We're negative 30% versus the number of properties we're going to pending last year in the metro area. We're at 24.5 at the national level. So in Atlanta, in the metro area, you have agents that are definitely not pricing property the right way. And that's where you have an advantage. Because if you actually do that, you do your homework. And I don't care if you're working for the seller, make sure that you price it right. But if you're working for the buyer, you can actually run numbers and say, wait a second, this property has been sitting on the market for 60 days. And we can definitely negotiate. They're overpriced by this much, and we can definitely negotiate and get something good for your buyers, right? So definitely keep an eye on that. Next slide, if you don't mind. Newly listed homes. Now, these are the properties that are going on the market, not new construction, but new listings in the market. We're at an all-time low. People are sitting on the fence. In other words, sellers are basically saying, I don't know if I want to sell in this market. I don't know what they're saying. It is still a seller's market. If I look at it from my perspective, that looks like people are not having the right conversations. They're not getting the full picture of what's going on in the market. I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months. But if you ask me if this is a good time to list your property and sell, I'm going to say yes. Go ahead.
Question, because some things I've heard from some people that I've talked to about potentially listing. Fear of the rates being higher than they were a few years back now and lower inventory. Where do we go? I have a buddy of mine who basically said the same thing. He's like, buddy of his neighbor up in the Suwannee, Hamilton Mill area, cashed in on a great opportunity to sell his house, made a lot of money. But ended up having nowhere to go because of lack of inventory and the prices being higher. Couldn't take that money and turn it into another house, ended up having to rent. And
And what was that? When did that happen?
just recently since the end of the fall. Because
Another fall
since,
last year.
yeah, since in the past, let's say 5 months. And he said now his old neighbor is now renting somewhere for $4,000 because he can't find anywhere else to buy comparable to what he had.
Well,
His mortgage was 28, now he's renting for 4. And that's what consumers are seeing.
Well, but see, that's, so look at it from that perspective. So I was paying $2,800, I sold, and now I'm renting and I'm paying $4,000. I'm pretty sure they could afford to buy the next house out.
He could, but with the rates being as high, he couldn't afford what he gave up.
Yeah, but.
For the for comparable
issue
price.
is- And again, this is the thinking, right? I want somebody to pay as much money as possible for my house,
Right,
but I don't wanna pay somebody else's price. because
Right.
I think it's high, right?
sure,
If you're in the market, you're not as affected. If you were coming into the market, you never bought a house, you never
Yeah.
owned a house, and you're coming in, yeah, I mean, it's gonna cost you definitely more.
sure,
But if you're already in the market, it's the same thing. If we were in a marina, what happens when we have high tide? All the boats are on price. What happens when we have low tide? All of the boats
right,
lower, right?
right,
So when you're in the market, you don't get affected as much. All you're doing is shifting everything
Right.
from one to the other one. Is the payment a little lower? Maybe, maybe not, right?
right,
But what you're doing is you're stopping the pricing from continuing to go up. And if you give it enough time, that's what's gonna happen. You give it out 10 years and that person's gonna be sorry they didn't buy at today's prices.
right.
Now, they're flipping, that's a different story. That's investment, XXX. Okay, all right, thanks. Oh.
I guess I just felt like on the consumer end of things, people that aren't knowledgeable in real estate like we are, their issues, why don't I just stay where I'm at? I'm perfectly fine. I don't need to sell. People that were listing because they thought they were making a quick buck, but then they realized that dollar now costs more moving forward.
Yeah.
So that's their issues, right?
No, I get it, but I think it falls on us. We're the
Yeah.
ones that need to tell the story the proper way so they get
Right.
what's happening. But Hunter,
I was just saying, can't you use that to your advantage though? If you can find off-market properties, that's why people should work with you, because the lower inventory. I just feel like that's another selling point for you as an agent.
Yes, I mean, it's always a possibility.
In the office.
I think everybody, I don't know how much longer we're having this, I don't think everybody should look around at everything you own and or do. Cars, concerts, clothes, eyewear, whatever it may be, cost you more money. So we're talking about housing right now, and yet you might not have to, it's called supply and demand, remember Beanie Babies? I mean, come on, everybody, it's a true story. I get so tired of this, you don't understand the 21% rates we have. Ruthie, I don't care, my dad's house was $33,000, the exact house just sold for 500 at 3%, guys, it's called economics. Economics, you can't touch Lake Lanier almost under $1 million. For a lot. For a lot, and I've said this very clearly for years. You can't touch it. And there was a time you couldn't get them more. So my point is, I love we get slides, but that's just visualization. But if you're not studying it as a consumer, Lululemon's is selling pants for $140. Come on, people. Seriously? And I'll pay for it.
The best leggings ever.
The best pants ever.
Yeah.
Right? You pay for the experience. Right? So, I mean, if you don't look around and think ladies' shoes, they're more expensive. Jordans, the same Jordan I wore in 1980 sells for almost $1,000. The exact same shoe, no difference. The dollar, you got to be a consumer and understand that.
I was educating people too, because I mean, like, we were out to dinner with friends Friday or Saturday night, and they wanted to talk about selling their house. Well, I told them right now, we talked through the whole situation. I said, no, don't sell right now. Doesn't make sense for you to sell right now. Because you have to listen to what their needs are. You have to listen to what their why is. and you guide them. And are those people, you know, a year from now, when interest rates are better and they can get what they want, and, you know, their mortgage might be a little better, are they still gonna come back to me? Of course they are. But you have to guide people to do the right thing for them.
Well, and on that too, when you do stuff like that and it's going against what people think you would want to do as what people see as a salesperson.
That's right.
Not only are they gonna come back to you, but they're gonna refer other people to you. Like, you're gonna get more business from that, because every time I've had those kind of conversations with people, I'm their person for life, because they're like, why would he talk me out of making money?
That's right.
You know, like, you know, and then they know it's about them.
Yeah,
Just the
I
next.
just got 2 more slides, so. We already heard, but it all be completed, because I definitely want you to have the entire data should not out there yet. Next one, please. This is days on market. Okay, now look at what's happening. It's actually. Look at what's happening to the days on market.
Coming down.
Do you see the trend? It is, the properties are selling quicker in the last quarter than they were last year. You see that? We're following 20, the page. Well, 18 days year over year, but it's following the same trend from 2021.
I think we're pricing it right, we're getting the prices right, we're all getting used to the new norm in the interest rates.
The shock that people were in right at the fall, you know, December, they're like, well, what's going on? I'm not selling, I'm not buying, I'm not doing, I'm on the fence. That's changing. Now, we're not back to 2021 or 2020 by any means, or beginning of 2022, but definitely moving property. If you price it right, it's heading in the right direction. Now, look at the FLS, look at what changed. Look at the days on marketing from 2020, right? 2021, 2022, 2023, and then it went up all the way to 30 days. This is the median, this is not the average, right? And now we're back down to 20%. I mean, to 20 days on the market. So things are moving faster. Now, are they moving faster in some areas? You bet, right? So just keep an eye on the areas that you're selling in. Keep an eye on the areas that you're listing in, because it's area specific, right? And then the last one, this one doesn't have, or actually does have. Look at the median list price. Price is really coming down? No. No, they're not. Huh? Yeah. Now, I don't know, see, look at the pink line. Is it gonna cross over at some point in 2022 and actually we're gonna see a increase? Maybe. It hasn't happened yet. Yeah. It's all price. I mean, if you really come down to it, it's all price, because we still have low inventory, we have more demand. The rates, people, you know, they're out of the shop already and they're moving and doing things. It's all about the price.
So when I sold real estate, the average sale price was 187. Average. It's now 400, and you're getting paid the same money. So you're making way more money. Does that make sense? The cap in our office is truly important.
Now,
Think about that.
and this is median price as far as national level and Vermont, right? Right. Now, look at that number. 370,000, it says 0%. That's year over year. When did we start pricing wise at the beginning of the year, last year? It was in uncharted territory, right? It was getting really, really high. We're at the same median price that we were back in March of 2022. So tell me that the prices are coming down. No, they're not. The overpricing is. So it's still plenty of opportunity. I mean, this is, and if you have the conversations, go tell the sellers this information, go mention this information. This will get them off the fence. I don't know what's gonna happen in 6 months, but right now it's the greatest time to sell. Because the data says so.
Enrique, thank you.
one more. And this is the one that doesn't have, now look at the price reviews share. 6.8%, and we don't have to compare it to the left from the left, right? But what is that telling you? It has slowed down from the beginning of the year, right? We're reducing less, we're still not pricing right 100%, but we're still reducing less than before, because how much do they pay, Alice, how much do they pay your neighbor the other day? Okay, so Frank, so it's
Close to 950, 100,000, we're close to 950, or close to that activity.
I rest my case. Yeah. There you go. All right, thank you, Enrique. We're gonna get moving. I know that. I've got y'all's time. Let's go. Okay, so Stephanie, Andrew, what do you got? You got something for us on the insurance side?
No.
Premiums are going up, just like house prices and everything else going up. I got that news.
Yeah, we can get you quotes quick, just give me a call if y'all need insurance.
Oh, Andrew has all my business. I'm just telling us, this is what's going on. But your commission did not change. That's the beauty. All right, Steph, what do you got for us? Cause I'm a winner. What do you got?
Which one do you want me to do?
Steve, you can talk. What you got?
Well, I can't talk a lot, that's why I'm.
Okay, Namor Expo, the 20th, the broker with the most participants wins, and we win every year, and we'll win this year. And then there's a slime for the least
So
amount of money.
last year we had the bug competition where we raised money for our pack and I won and had to eat bugs. Well, this year we're doing a slime competition and the winner is not going to get slime. The other 4 that don't raise the same.
So everybody understands the oxymoron we just said. I won to eat 5 crickets. I won. But we raised like $3,500 and I did it for the team.
Yes.
This year we changed the rules. If you win, you don't get slime.
Yeah. You'll get decorated, you won't get slime.
Yeah.
But attendance is on the right-hand side. If you guys pre-register, there's gonna be 2 drawings. First prize is $1,000, and this year we're doing a second chance drawing for $500. Free lunch, free parking. We've got Todd is on here today. He's joining us for the first time this year, so we're gonna have a lot of great movers there for you. And then the middle one is to invest in RPAC for Mike to win, but also because you need to be protecting your license in this industry. So just a couple examples. In 2020, we were one of the first states that allowed realtors to be considered essential workers. That was because of our RPAC funds that went and fought legislation right away. You don't have to have a license in every city that you work in. Because of that, you don't get taxed at the closing table on your commission because of RPAC. What they recommend is 10% of what you make every year go to RPAC, kind of like tithing. So you make $20,000, give $200. It's an investment in your future. And Mike wants to win.
Thank you. Yeah, we want to win, right? We're gonna be the best. You know, take a friend with you, like your kid. It's not me, they can see the industry around that day, and we'll be there all day long, doing different things. Find some events coming up.
Let me back up. Okay. We talked about Forewarn. This is the app that you can download if you are interested in getting it. Whoop, I went too fast, sorry. Now I went too fast.
There you go.
Gotta go back, hold on. It's going. This is the app that you can get. You can plug in somebody's phone number and it can give you if they have any criminal background or anything like that. It is for your safety. If you are interested in getting this app, you need to reach out to Linda Best. It does cost $6 per month and it will be added to your office bill. She will get you all connected with that, so you have that extra little bit of safety.
Kind of fun, you go to a party, you see a friend, and me and Bob just pull the number up, you'll know what they are.
As far as classes go, this week or tonight, we got the case court. If you know anybody who's looking into getting into real estate, have them jump on the Zoom call with me. Tomorrow, the trivia with Michael and Gray. I've got 10 o'clock and they said 9:30, so I just need to confirm that start time. But you'll get an email tonight, you'll get an email tomorrow, as well as a text on that correct time. Also tomorrow at 11 o'clock, David is doing Don't Be That Agent class. It's going to be a panel with some of our other AFP members, Matt, Allison, and Craven. So they're going to be talking about best practices and how not to be that agent.
That's right. Be a farmer, not a hunter.
And then on Wednesday, also at 11:30 bilingual session, mainly contract is what they usually do on that one. Totally today, sorry. Thursday, tech appointments with Tyler, he will be here in person. Oh, and also actually, what I just found out, Lucy will be here all day tomorrow. If you need any tech support, Lucy can get you going. On Thursday, Garth forms an update with Ashley. Roundtable with Andy Peters. If you're just looking about growing your business, jump on this roundtable. It happens every month and it's with all the GLG. They'll be talking about what to do to help grow your business and what has been done.
Yes, it's the monthly market game. Millionaire real estate roundtable.
Friday is Good Friday. Office staff will not be here. If you come in the building, just make sure you bring your keys so you'll get access to the building. Just a quick little heads up. O'Kelly and Sorenham is doing something sweet today, so if you just want to pop over there and get some little Easter treats, go pop over and see Ashley. On the 12th, mastering appraisals, that is going to be a class coming up on the 12th. Register for that. Fair housing event, JPEGs, if you need a new headshot, $100 for 2 edited things, and they are doing that, I think it's April 18th, after team meeting. I'm just going to scoot through some of these because we need to do two.
Yeah, we're way behind.
Oh no, chart masters on the 21st, another CE class on the 24th. RedDay we talked about.
Where's that list going around?
201 RedDay shirt list. The 201 contest. I want to thank everybody who played all in, built your contacts inside your command. This is the name of the game. You want to sell real estate? This is it. This is it. This is the only thing that matters is building a database. I had a panel here of 100 million, and each one of them had at least 1,000 people in their database. So we're going to do a drawing. I said I'm gonna give away $201. We're gonna give away $201 today. So if you have something?
Yep, I do. I've got our wheel.
You have $201.
I don't have the $201. You have to send the best.
You know, press the win. If you're in the room, I hope.
12 people that qualify for this.
Build your business. So here we're gonna spin the wheel. There it goes. It's spinning. I have no idea. I don't get to pick this. It's easier than Renee's job was for sure. Carla. That's in Columbia. So I'll reach out to him. Yeah. In Columbia. So, right, we did another one. Good. All right. You want to invite, you got a church service this weekend, you wanted to just say.
Hey, this is the Super Bowl for people of the Christian faith. So if you don't have a church that you normally go to, let me invite you to come sit with me, North Point Community Church. It's a non-denominational, Protestants, Catholics alike. It's casual. You can come like this, bring your coffee. Got a great rock and roll contemporary music pre-show. You'll never believe the lights and stuff, and a great inspirational, positive message. See me if you want to come sit with me. Just a quick little call.
He asked me to do that, and I'm like, go ahead. And I love that. What you just said is so different, because 50 years ago, my grandma would be rolling over going, rock and roll. Yeah. I appreciate you being there all the time and waiting and then taking notes.
Always a pleasure. Good morning, Chat North, and happy Gratitude Tuesday. It is another great day to be alive today, isn't it?
Yes.
And on that note, I'd like to share a poem by, her name is Do Zantamata, and it says, if every morning you find a reason to say yes, it's going to be a beautiful day. And if every day you find a reason to say yes, it is a beautiful day. And if every night you find a reason to say yes, it was a beautiful day, then one day you'll look back and easily say, yes, it was a beautiful life. So let's be our best versions of ourselves today and continue to think big, aim high, act bold. Peace and love, Jack Norris.
Happy week. See y'all next week.
This is planned for.
Go right across the